You are listening to the Disney Dreamgirls podcast, an unofficial Disney theme parks podcast, and this is show number 191 for Sunday the 7th of January 2018.
Where dreams begin.
Hello and welcome to the Disney Dreamgirls podcast. My name is Michelle Young, and together with my very good friend Jayne Phipps, we are your guides to the place where dreams begin. Hello there, Jayne, and happy 2018.
Happy New Year, Michelle. How are you doing, my dear?
I'm good, my lovely. I'm good. How was your Christmas, sweetheart?
It was very nice, thank you. It was very quiet, unlike yours. We didn't do very much at all. We just had lots of time at home, chilling out, trying to do as little as possible, which I think we achieved quite well, thank you very much.
You also had Ethan's birthday?
We did, yes. It's a busy time of the year for us. My birthday, middle of December. Ethan's birthday is Christmas Eve, then into Christmas, then it's New Year. But we didn't do an awful lot, but we managed to have some family time, which is always nice.
Oh, that's wonderful. So was Santa kind to you?
He was. I have a few obligatory Disney bits, as one has to have at these times of year. And including in that is obviously some Star Warsy bits, because that's now classified as Disney, isn't it?
Come on, we want the details. What did you get?
I got some Star Warsy earrings, and I've got a Kylo Ren Her Universe jacket.
Ooh.
And I've got a Rey Her Universe cardigan.
Ooh.
And I've got a Mickey and Minnie dress and some Kath Kiston bits. Thank you, Michelle.
I try my best. Although I'm very annoyed because they've all gone in the sale now. And I'm really annoyed because Angie said, I'm not telling you this, but Kath Kidson have got a sale on, but I'm not telling you this. So immediately, what do?
You have to go and have a look.
Yeah, so I ended up noticing a lot of the things that I bought as gifts for people were half price.
Oh, no.
And I then had to buy one or two bits.
Well, that's the thing, isn't it? That's when you feel like you're compelled to buy stuff. I must admit, I'm going slightly off kilter here. There's a gorgeous little backpack. Have you seen the little backpack that's just come out?
I'm not looking.
With the Mickey ears, and it's all the floor. It's ever so cute.
Not looking.
Sorry, I won't mention it then.
Oh, God, I'm picking up my phone now to have a look. Stop it! Seriously,
Sorry,
Jayne,
Michelle.
Don't. I can't look. Tunnel vision, Michelle. Don't get distracted.
So what about you then, Michelle? Because your Christmas was a little bit different.
It was incredibly different because I flew out to California on the 22nd and I broke up from work on the 21st, but I was really ill on the 21st. I actually didn't go into work and I spent the whole day in bed, really ill.
I know, well, I was messaging with you, wasn't I? I was a little bit concerned you weren't actually going to make it.
Well, that evening, I had a really severe stomach complaint on top of everything else, where literally I was vomiting, I was being sick, I had a temperature, I was shivering. I thought, I'm going to have to cancel the flight. I literally was on my hands and knees, doubled up in pain. I was thinking, I haven't even packed. This was 8 o'clock as I was leaving the house the next morning at 6 a.m.
But you made it.
I did make it. I didn't have much sleep and packing was a bit of a nightmare. But I was very grateful of the fact that I didn't manage to forget anything because I'd been at the weekend, sort of 2 weekends before that, been getting bits out so that I knew I wouldn't leave anything because I had all my little outfits. I had the skirts I wanted to wear and the blouses and the tops and everything, and I even made sure I had extra gloves and hats and scarves and coats just to keep me all nice and cosy.
Yeah, it's a difficult one going out to LA at this time of year, isn't it? Because you're not really quite sure what to expect with the weather.
Yeah, so I had the Christmas at home with the kids, which was lovely. We got to see them open the presents and had a nice meal. Bearing in mind I had just done a weekend round trip of a 14-hour car drive to move my eldest up to Yorkshire from being on the south coast. So unfortunately we just had frozen pizza as our Christmas lunch. So we had a proper Christmas lunch when I got back. But yeah it was a nightmare in some respects. But Kieran's got a job, so he's working in between going and furthering his studies, and Emily's working, and Bryony doesn't even, well, Emily and Bryony don't live at home anymore. They've both moved out on their own way. But their grandma, their dad's mum's, not doing so well at the moment, and they really wanted to spend some time with her over the Christmas period. So that's how the trip came about back in August. We thought, well, we're going to be on our own. They're going to be over spending the time with the dad and his family. Let's just go away.
Yeah. Which, making best use of one's time, I think, Michelle.
As unfortunately, I've heard from a lot of people who have lost loved ones over the last few weeks and months. You just don't know what's in store for you. And, when American Express keep upping your card limit, you just get tempted to book more trips.
How very naughty of them, Michelle.
They are awful. Really awful. Bad American Express. Anyway, so yeah, many moons ago, I did a trip report. Yeah, so basically what we thought we'd do is, when we booked this back in September, we had a look around and we found a really good price on the hotel. Normally I stay at the Clarion.
Yeah.
This time I booked to stay at the Red Lion, which is a little bit further up towards Disneyland itself. In fact, if you took out the waiting at the traffic lights, it literally could be walked to security from the hotel bedroom door in 11 minutes, but that's at Michelle Pierce.
That's not bad going, though.
Yeah, it's a pretty quick walk because I'm doing about a 15-minute mile at the moment.
Yeah.
So it's just under a mile walk if you want to know the figures on that. And it was $100 a night roughly.
Not too bad, is it?
No, nice clean room, massive bed. Oh my lord, it was like 2 double beds put together. It's huge, huge. Not a lot of drawer space. In fact, there were no drawers. They were just like open cupboards.
Oh, okay.
And the decor, I thought it'd be a little bit more modern, but it was sort of like retro old style. But I didn't care because all I basically did in there was, we got back from the park on a night, crashed, got up at the 6 o'clock in the morning and got to the park. So it was lovely. Really enjoyed it. Great location for picking up water from either Walgreens or CVS on either side of the road. So that saved Disney money because what we'd do on a night is we'd pick up a big 5-litre carton of water and just fill up some bottles, and we never bought any water in the park.
Good move.
Well, those 5 litres were costing us $2.49.
What would the equivalent be in the park, Michelle?
Well, one bottle of smart water was $3.50.
Ridiculous, isn't it?
So that was a massive money saving thing because normally I'd go to Walmart or Target, but I didn't have a car, so
yeah.
As for our park tickets, we bought a set of 2 and a set of 5-day tickets.
Oh, okay.
And we used the 2-day tickets first, and they were non-hoppers.
Right, so just one part, yeah.
And we added Max Pass to those because we thought we'd give Max Pass a try, because if we liked it, we could always then add it on to the 5-day one. But if I'd have bought them for all 7 days, that was $140, and that was a big commitment financially.
That is a big chunk, isn't it?
Well, it is. It's virtually a Dooney and Burke purse.
Yeah, let's put this into reality terms. Yeah.
Let's get some perspective on that, So we thought, well, no, okay, we'll just try it out on the 2 days. So our first day, we decided to do Disneyland, and we got to Disneyland. We left the hotel room nice and early. Disneyland was opening at 7 a.m. this particular day.
Wowzers.
So we got there at 10 to 7.
Right.
Got through security, no lines, got to wander around the park and start hitting the attractions.
Right, making most of your day.
Well, that's what we tended to have done. We got to the park as it opened, if not a little bit before, and got all the big hitters out of the way because later on in the day, the waits were ridiculous. It's Christmas. It's going to be busy. I'm not even going to moan about it because you cannot go to a theme park at the busiest time of the year and moan about it being busy because it's going to be busy.
It's going to be, isn't it? Yeah, you just have to take that on the chin, don't you?
Yeah, and we planned, I think, effectively because in the morning we'd be going around getting our fast passes. We'd be hitting the big waits, so you're going to be going on the things such as Big Thunder, Space Mountain, Haunted Mansion, It's a Small World, those sorts of attractions. Star Tours as well, because they'd put on Star Tours the whole new scenes to link in with The Last Jedi.
Oh, cool, yeah.
But it seems to me that's the only things that they're showing at the moment, because I think we rode Star Tours a number of times, and I'm not saying how many because that's going to be an upcoming podcast competition.
Okay.
But we got the same thing over and over. The only thing that seemed to change is that we'd get the different person delivering the message at the beginning saying that there's the rebel spy on board. So we had Poe and we had Mars.
Right, okay.
So, and I think we had, oh gosh, we had someone else and I can't remember who. But everything else, you went to the things that were linked in with the film.
Right, okay.
So again, some of the waits on some of the attractions, it's a small world. Once it got dark, the wait, you were looking at 2 to 3 hours.
Wowzers. But you know why, don't you? Because it looks so stunning, doesn't it? All lit up at Christmas.
It is. It's beautiful, but you can see the outside without waiting 3 hours.
Yeah,
by
true.
just standing outside and taking pictures.
Yeah.
The inside is no different whether it's dark or light. And
True.
in the morning, the wait was 5 minutes. It was a walk on.
No brainer then.
They do operate Fast Pass at this time of year on It's a Small World. And that was fairly handy because if you got into the park before, say, 2:30, you were able to get one. By about 2:30, most of those Fast Passes went.
Right, okay, yeah. So get in, get them sorted, and then you're away, aren't you?
Yeah. So a couple of things I'll mention on the attractions.
Mm-hmm.
Big Thunder, I personally timed it from using Fast Pass or going in the standby. And really, sometimes it wasn't the best use of our Fast Pass because you still have to wait in a little bit of a standby line, even when you use a Fast Pass. So for me personally, it was only another 10-15 minutes to go in the standby. So
right.
Using the Fast Passes for something, a big hitter like Space Mountain or Indiana Jones just made more sense.
Yeah.
I got some amazing pictures when I went in the standby line as well, which you don't get the opportunity to do in the Fast Pass. Where you go through the dinosaur bone bit.
Yes, of course, yeah.
Great picture of the train coming through there. Absolutely stunning.
Oh, wow.
As we mentioned already, It's a Small World. Oh, my word, amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful. It's just like glitter had been sicked up all over the place.
Nothing wrong with a bit of glitter, Michelle.
Oh, you can't beat a bit of bling, love. We only did one ride on Splash Mountain because basically, one, it wasn't the best of weather. It wasn't scorching. And two, we were unlucky on that one ride.
In what way?
Because we basically have decided to rename the attraction.
Okay, and what are we renaming it to?
Gonna get absolutely bone-soakingly soaked Splash Mountain.
Did you get a bit wet, Michelle?
Oh, my word. I was on the front row of the little log, okay? And as you'll know, on the Splash Mountain in Disneyland, it's one rider, then one behind,
yes.
one behind, one behind, rather than side by side.
Yes.
Okay? So Tom was behind me, and then lots of other people. They were all wearing ponchos. And I would have known that, I probably would have worn a poncho, because knowing how wet I got, oh my Lord. At one point, I looked down and I was wearing a little cute Disney skirt, and I had what looked like a washing up bowl of water on my lap. Seriously, it hadn't even soaked through the skirt because there was that much of it. It was like 6-7 inches of water.
Ooh. I bet it wasn't overly warm either, was it, Michelle?
No, I got off the attraction and my skirt was virtually falling off me because every bit of it was soaked. There wasn't even enough bit to dry my glasses.
Oh, crikey.
I was soaked to the skin. So luckily I went to the restroom and because I was wearing a skirt, and you can't always do this with jeans, I was able to sort of stick it into the hand dryer and dry out the skirt.
Yeah.
But boy, oh boy, I did love the attraction. I loved it to pieces, but I just didn't want to get that wet again.
No, it's no fun. You've got to be in really scorching hot temperatures to get that wet, haven't you?
Completely. But, one of those things. Now, Indiana Jones.
Yes.
I have got a gripe about Indiana Jones. I do not understand why it's got such a wait.
No, why?
It's like, even in standby, you've got... Most days we were there, 180 minutes, 190 minutes was the average.
Wowzers, that's high.
It's a good attraction. I enjoy it. I enjoy it particularly if you're on the front row of the vehicle, which I asked for on my second ride on it, just purely because I wanted a better perspective than the back row, because the back row's a little bit violent.
Bit bouncy around.
Yeah, but even using a fast pass, we were waiting 40 minutes.
Crikey.
That's with a fast pass. So for me, it's not a ride I would wait 3 hours for.
No, it's good, but not that good.
Yeah, and it's not a ride I'd wait 40 minutes for.
No.
You know, but that's me personally, each to their own, because everybody likes different elements. And yes, it's a better attraction than the stage show they've got at Walt Disney World.
Well, yeah.
You know, I do prefer that, but you don't have to wait that long for that show in Walt Disney World either.
No, definitely not.
So I was able to do some nice little ride-alongs on the attractions in Fantasyland. Loved that. When I'm talking about attractions, I've got a list of 4 attractions here that I hit the most on my holiday. And I'm going to do a bit of a little competition, and I'll sort a Disney prize for this. I'll link it up on the Facebook page. What attraction did Michelle ride the most of, and how many times did she ride it?
Ooh, okay.
You can enter as many times as you like. I'm going to be nice, as long as it's all a separate entry. See if you can guess, and I'm going to make it easier for you, okay?
Right, okay, how?
It's a Disneyland attraction, not a DCA attraction.
Okay.
See what you think on that one. See if you can get the right attraction and the right number of rides.
I've got a couple in mind.
Oh, well, you'll have to enter, Jane, because nobody knows this apart from me and my notepad.
Okay.
So let's hop over now to DCA and talk a little bit about the attractions over there. The first day in DCA, I had to go on Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, right. First time on this then, Michelle?
First time on it. First initial impressions as I'm stood outside. Oh, my Lord, it doesn't fit where it is.
Yeah, from the outside perspective, yeah.
It just looks out of place.
Mm-hmm.
Now, either Disney have got to change the exterior of the attraction, which I don't think they need to, because I think the attraction itself needs that futuristic theming. So they need to change the area around it in some shape or form, because it just looks like it's been jetted in from an outer space planet.
Yeah, which I suppose if, you know, they are going to be incorporating more of the Marvel universe into their parks, it would perhaps be prudent, shall we say, that things got changed.
Yeah. Now, apart from receiving the odd picture or two of my friend Thomas Allison, I had no idea about the attraction. I didn't know the storyline. I didn't know how they'd changed it internally. I kept away from everything because I wanted to see it with fresh eyes and I wanted to make my own opinion.
But Michelle, did you actually know what Guardians of the Galaxy was?
It's a film with a girl that's got a really major skin complaint because she's gone green and she's got a really weird name. A guy who likes dancing to 80s music, which, to be honest, all credit to him, I love dancing to 80s music too.
Have you actually seen the film, Michelle?
Right, okay. You know, a while ago I tried to watch it and I lost interest and fell asleep. On the way out, it just happened to be on the plane, it did have Guardians of the Galaxy.
Oh, okay. So you made the effort to watch it then?
I did.
Oh, good on you.
I lasted in about 40 minutes this time.
Oh, that's about double where you were last time.
Yeah, so I've got a bit more of an idea. And to be quite frank, Jane, I promise I am going to go and watch the whole movie because what I saw at the beginning wasn't as bad as I remembered.
Ah, there you are. It's a good little movie. And number 2's really good as well.
Well, you see, that was my thinking. If I watch number 1, I can watch number 2.
And it's very easy on the eye.
Well, the music's good. It's a little bit, how can I say, not my cup of tea.
Oh, that's okay. We all have to have different tastes, don't we?
Yeah, because if you can have Chris, I can have Canoe, as I affectionately call him. Although I'd like Canoe as he was in Point Break a fair few years ago. Not Canoe now, because Canoe just doesn't look good now.
No, anyway, we're digressing, Michelle. Come on.
We are, yeah. Okay, but if you agree with me and like Canoe, please let me know. Anyway, so yeah, fast passed this and stand by it. And to be honest, the fast pass, you don't always save a great deal of time. It just depends how busy it was. The longest waits we saw for this was about 60, 70 minutes. The main traffic was seeming to go to Cars Land and Radiator Springs Races, so fast passes were still available up to about 5 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right, that's not bad going then. I thought that would have been more than that.
Yeah, so obviously the queue, they've done different planting, you know, so the planting is quite futuristic. Everything was labelled up because, spoiler alert, and I don't think I'm spoiling it for anybody because if you've not seen it as yet, well, I'm not really going to spoil it, but you're visiting an exhibition. It's like a museum and everything is categorised. And I thought I was starting to get into the theme of it a little bit. And I got to the threshold and stepped inside and it was like, They could not make the interior of Tower of Terror any more different.
Oh, good. So you weren't going in there thinking, oh, that's that and that's that sort of thing.
Nothing resembled it at all.
Cool.
It was completely different. And from that moment, I was totally immersed. And you don't have to have watched the film to get the theme in either, because it was so well done. And there's a big video screen on the back wall where the fireplace used to be, and that sort of tells you the story. And to be honest, I wanted to linger in there a little bit more to get the full backstory of it, so that I was up to date, and I was able to do that a couple of times. Then obviously you go into what's now a study, an office, rather than into the library. And there's a really amazing animatronic of Rocket, and he's the one who's telling you what the story is from that point, what the mission is, because he's asking you to help him out.
Yeah, yeah.
So from that point then, we go into the boiler room, which was the boiler room before. It's sort of like going into they call it the gantry. So you're still going into a service elevator type scenario. You go on different levels while you're on the elevator, and it reveals at different points a video screen, and it's a little bit more of the story, and there's music playing. There are 6 different songs, I gather, in total. You still get drops. I think you get a lot more airtime of the drops. I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Wow. Because I was very worried, because I know how much you love Tower of Terror.
Yeah, I just think Disney have excelled in the theming of it. They've done a fantastic job. I totally bought into it. I loved it. I'm glad that they went to the extent that they did to do the ride makeover. I think anything less, it wouldn't have been as good. It's still a thrilling attraction. I loved the fact I was able to get 2 different songs. I got Born to Be Wild, and I got the Pat Benatar one, Hit Me With Your Best Shot. 2 songs I personally adore.
Helps.
So, yeah, I loved it. It was great.
Good.
Then obviously, looking to the future, California Screaming is going to be closing, and it's going to be turned into the Incredicoaster for this whole new Pixar Pier revitalisation. And we had to go on that. I love the attraction. It's really cool. You sat there at the beginning, you set off, and then you have a false start, don't you? You're waiting, and Neil Patrick Harris comes on, and then you rocketed up. Oh my word, it's amazing. So knowing what they've done on Guardians and the makeover there, it'll be interesting to see what the makeover they're doing with Screaming to get the incredible style going.
Yeah, especially as it's obviously a lot of exterior stuff, so it's going to be interesting to see what they do with that one.
Yeah. Absolutely. Spent quite a bit of time sort of going around and visiting some of the attractions. I did go on the Silly Symphony swings for the first time ever, because I normally don't like those kind of attractions.
Yeah, not my favourite either, I have to admit.
But I thought, well, I'm trying to get everything. I want to ride everything in Disneyland and DCA. So I did it, and I was so glad I did, because I really enjoyed it. But boy, oh boy, is it short.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
But hey ho. So let me just go back now over to Disneyland, because I forgot all about that. I was able to do some attractions I'd not done before.
Oh, right. Okay. I presumed you'd done everything, Michelle.
Well, I needed these 2 attractions and the Silly Symphony swings to complete everything in the 2 parks, except for Bugs Land. I have not done the Ladybird thing, Flix Flyer, and I've also not done the Jumping Jellyfish, because I don't do Jumping Jellyfish type attractions, full stop.
Okay. So what attractions was it in Disneyland then that you got round to doing?
Canoes.
Canoes? Ah, okay.
Top tip, I waited till lunchtime, till it was a little bit warmer.
Right, yeah.
And, normally people have joked to me, I don't go to a theme park to work out. But to be honest, it wasn't that hard a work, sort of paddling.
No.
Top tip, try not to sit behind a child, because when they're trying to get a handle on sort of paddling, most of the water ends up back in the boat on the person behind them.
Was that you getting wet again, Michelle?
It was. At least Splash Mountain water has got the added benefit of chlorine. Rivers of America water doesn't.
Not quite so. Yeah,
so
nice
that
experience.
Wasn't as attractive. So, but hey ho, I did that, and I also did the treehouse.
Ah, so what did you think to the treehouse then, Michelle?
I expected it to be a lot harder work to get to the top, actually. I thought, I'm going to be climbing stairs forever.
But it's deceptive, actually, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and I had some lovely views of the theme park. It was nicely themed. It was good to go around. So, yeah, I enjoyed that.
Something a bit different to do, isn't it?
I suppose the next bit feeds into how to handle Disney at Christmas to make sure you get the maximum benefit. So, first thing is I would highly recommend MaxPass if you have cellular data available on your phone.
Oh, okay. Why is that then?
Right. Well, let me explain a little bit about MaxPass. It's $10 a day per person.
Right.
It gives you all your PhotoPass pictures and it gives you your ride attraction pictures.
Okay.
And it gives you the ability to use the Disneyland Parks app to book your fast passes rather than going to the legacy machines to pick them up.
Right, okay.
The gap in between your fast passes is shorter than if you were going to the machines.
That's good then.
And it appeared that the times that you could get on the app were better than the times than you could get at the machine. And I'll give you an example of that.
Okay.
I met up with our lovely friend, Blackjack Joe, and we're wanting to ride Big Thunder together. So the fast pass return time on the legacy system was 6:30.
Right.
Joe could get one on his app for 5 o'clock.
An hour and a half earlier. Wow.
So that means he was able in a day to get more fast passes than I was, than going to the different machines. And also it's the convenience of using the app rather than having to go to the actual fast pass
To walk
machine.
around and find it. Yeah.
So that, I think, was absolutely fantastic value for $10.
Yeah,
It's
definitely.
definitely going to be the way forward that Disney are taking Disneyland rather than the magic band element, because
Oh, okay.
magic bands, as we all know, are a nightmare for recycling. Every trip, new band. Every trip, new band. And you can't do anything with them because you can't reutilise the ones Disney give you.
Yeah.
Those are all the benefits. Now, I did start at the beginning of the little discussion there about saying if you have the cellular data.
Yeah, so what's the bone of contention then, Michelle?
Well, I'm coming from the UK, and for me to use my UK data, I have to pay my network provider to do so.
Not cheap, I would think.
No, you're looking at $10 a day.
Yeah, on top of what you've already paid, yeah.
So that was never going to happen. So I had to rely on the park's Wi-Fi. Now,
Right.
give Disneyland credit, on the park maps, it shows where the Wi-Fi hotspots are.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad then.
And to be quite thankful, the lady at Guest Services did put a nice big black ring round them when I went to sort of mention about it. So the best places for you to get the Wi-Fi was around the hub, by Big Thunder, by Haunted Mansion, by the Matterhorn, by Space Mountain, and by It's a Small World.
Right.
So if you were by those bits, brilliant. If you're on the train, forget it. If you're in Toontown, forget it. If you're on the area by Casey Jr., forget it. You know, if you're on Main Street, forget it, unless you're by the hub.
So you're going to have a lot of walking around just to find the Wi-Fi?
Absolutely, and that was the problem. I had to spend time going to find the Wi-Fi to get access to the app, but also the battery life of my phone literally was being swallowed. And on the days I used MaxPass, I needed 4 or 5 full battery recharges.
Wow.
The days I didn't use MaxPass, I only needed 2.
Crikey, that's going some, isn't it?
Yeah. So that was a real problem for me. And I did go over to a guest services department over at DCA, and I said to them, you know, I've tried it in both parks. And personally, this is the feedback I'd like to give, because I was not warned as an international client that there would be this issue with regards to the Wi-Fi availability. And I just wanted to put this, you know, so that there weren't other people going and spending like $140 on MaxPass for a whole 7-day stay and finding these problems and perhaps not even being as prepared as I was with the battery recharger either.
Well, yeah, I have a little battery recharger with me. I don't think mine would have done that many recharges, though, to be fair.
Yeah. Very kindly, they suggested I go to ticket booths, and the ticket booths did refund me the money.
Oh, okay, that's not too bad for them.
So I had the use of the Max Pass system and was able to use it, but if I would have just relied on the legacy system, I personally, for me, would have probably got the same amount of fast passes because I was spending the time walking for Wi-Fi rather than walking to the
attraction.
Machines.
Yeah.
But for everybody else who has the data, it's great. It really, really is so convenient. But this leads into another thing, Jayne.
Right, okay.
So I arrive at the park and I had my little email that I got for the tickets, and they scan it, and then they give me the Disneyland park tickets.
Yeah.
Take my picture with the app and I'm good to go. And I've mentioned a lot about going and picking up the legacy fast passes. We all know that these are great souvenirs.
Yes.
We always used to have to hand them in.
Yeah, when you go to the line, yeah.
Right, so the first time I went to go and get them, it says on it something different. It now says, Fast Pass reminder, please have your valid park admission available upon your return. Enter between 9:20 and 10:20. And then it says another Fast Pass selection will be available after 9:20.
Yeah.
They don't collect these tickets in anymore.
Oh, okay.
These are just a reminder.
Right, so you end up with lots of bits of paper afterwards then?
Yeah. So before, if I'd got, say, some fast passes for later on an evening and I wasn't going to stay, what would you normally do with those fast passes?
Well, you used to put a bit of magic and hand them out to people.
Yeah, you would. You'd look for somebody, you think, oh, do you think they're the Space Mountain kind of people? Would they like it?
Yeah.
Can't do that now because these fast pass tickets are not able to get you on the ride because you have to use your theme park admission ticket to scan when you go to the attraction.
So now, it's tied into your admission ticket now. Yeah.
So whether you show that park admission on your phone via the app or whether you show the actual physical ticket, that's the only two ways you're getting on that attraction.
Right. That's a bit of a bummer, isn't it, really?
Well, I can't see them doing this for much longer because there is a cost involved of these legacy tickets. If they're not going to be collecting them in anymore, I can see these being defunct in 2018. I can see these no longer being given out and it's going to be all totally on the app.
Well, I suppose from an environmental point of view, you're cutting down the amount of paper that you're using, aren't you? And it's trying to make everybody's experiences as quick and as seamless as possible, I suppose. So apps are probably going to be the way to go.
Absolutely, and I totally agree with that, but what they have to do first is they have to do some serious work with that Wi-Fi, or as an international visitor you are put at quite a detrimental difficulty to those that have access to the cellular networks.
Yeah, they need to give everybody a heads up warning, don't they?
Yeah, so that's my little review on Max Pass. I suppose I want to talk a little bit now about Star Wars, Jayne.
Ooh, go on then.
We went into the launch bay.
Yeah.
And we did, we do the usual things. We do the character meet and greet, and we saw Kylo Ren and we saw Darth Vader, both exceptionally good. There's a model, and it's a section of the full model for Galaxy's Edge.
Ooh.
Disneyland have one bit. Walt Disney World have the other.
Right.
And lurking around that area every time we went in was a cast member. And the cast member was giving out these collectible trading cards.
Ooh.
I haven't opened them yet. There's about 10 cards in there. And there's like an Arabic translator and a whole pack of cards. And I've got a pack that I will be doing as one of the giveaways on the podcast for a listener if they'd like to have a go at winning. So keep your eyes open on the Facebook page for that.
Cool.
We had a little wander into the shop. Oh my word, Jayne. Oh my word. The merchandise was outstanding.
Yeah, I bet.
We saw this beautiful, soft as silk leather jacket. It had a beautiful silk lining with beautiful spacecraft from Star Wars printed inside on the lining of the jacket, and it was a black leather jacket. Oh, it was amazing. Absolutely amazing.
Did you guess it, Michelle?
I bought 7, Jayne.
I think you're telling me fibs.
I am telling you fibs because it was $499 plus tax.
Wow.
Yeah, hence I didn't buy it.
Oh.
Sorry, Jane.
Understandable, though.
I'd have bought it in our size and we could have shared it. So, yeah, there were some really nice pieces in there, but very pricey pieces. I'd also like to give a bit of a shout out to an amazing cast member who works in the Star Tours shop. We went in there because good friend Anthony Markham had sent me a picture. He wanted this Galaxy's Edge t-shirt.
Right.
And he said, please go and get me it. And he said, can you get me a large? So I goes to the store and I picks up the large and I thought, seriously, Anthony, that's going to fit me and you in it. It's a huge large. You know, sometimes that Disney sizing is not very consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was huge. It was more like a triple XL.
Wow.
So I messaged him and said, you know, what shall I do? But because I wasn't in a Wi-Fi hotspot, I thought, well, look, he said get the large, I'll get him it. He can always have it sort of tucked in or something. So I goes to the desk and I just thought, I'll ask the cast member, do you have a medium? Because there was none out.
Right.
She said, oh, yes, do you want this one? And she passed me the annual pass one. And I was like, I'd love that one. I said, but I'm not an annual pass holder. Can I still have it? Oh. And a colleague gave her a stern look. So she had to put that one back behind the counter. And I was like, sad face. She said, well, let me have a little ring round and see if anywhere else has got it. Well, I knew nowhere else had it because the Galaxy Edge t-shirts were only being sold at that store.
Yeah.
So she came back and she said, look, I'm really sorry. Would a large fit him? I said, well, to be honest, it's for a friend. It's a really dear friend of mine. I'd really like to get him the medium that would fit him. You know, have you got any more stock due in? And she said, I'm really sorry. It doesn't say when we're getting in more stock. And she said, look, would you like the annual pass one? I said, are you kidding me? I said, he would kill for it. So she let me have it.
Oh, bless her.
Amazing. I was like,
good on her.
I could have given her a big, massive hug, so I just did a cast compliment instead.
Absolutely. Good on her for doing that.
Yeah. So that's now on its way to Anthony, and I hope he enjoys it.
You better do now.
Well, do you know what? I came out of the shop and I was telling the other half, and he was like, I want it. I said, you can't have it. He says, but it's a better t-shirt. I said, but you can't have it. Yeah, we had a big argument over that.
But you can't make a promise.
Nope, it's for Anthony. Sorry, my Anthony comes first.
Yeah.
So let's just go on to talking about the other attractions that I was able to enjoy. And one of them, massive highlight, stood in front of the castle, watching it being lit up, beautiful music, cinnamon-scented snow.
Oh, nice.
Christmas Day night. I waited till Christmas Day night because I wanted that extra hit of Christmas. And it was perfect. Absolutely perfect. So we waited that night for fireworks.
Right, yeah.
Due at 10:30.
Okay.
So me and about 60,000 of my closest new best friends were crowded around the hub and all the way down Main Street. Literally, there was not enough room for you to breathe. It was that packed.
Well, keep you nice and warm.
Well, yeah, and we waited about an hour and a half for a place because we wanted to be right at the hub. 9 o'clock, half an hour to go. Due to high winds, tonight's performance of Believe in Holiday Magic Fireworks Spectacular in the skies above Disneyland Park may not go ahead.
Uh-oh.
Oh. Well, he said may. May is a modal verb. That means there's still a chance.
Yeah, no, yeah.
9:15 came. Same announcement.
That's not looking
there's
good.
still a chance. There's still that 15 minutes. You know, I wanted to feel the spirit of the season and take hold as the night filled with unbelievably brilliant colours and magical snowflakes.
But
9:30, fireworks cancelled.
oh no.
The roar from the crowd was unbelievable.
Oh, I suppose it is that element, isn't it? It's a particular day and everybody's wanted it to round off what's hopefully been an amazing day for everybody.
Well, fireworks are only shown once a night. Fantasmic, while we were there, was shown 3 times on many occasions.
Right, yeah.
So it was a punch to the gut. I was a little bit upset, but then me and my 60,000 best buddies all had to try and move. And with the ECV people, the wheelchair people, the stroller people, the dawdle people, the people with little kids, the people eating a corn dog, the people eating the turkey leg, we're all trying to get out of there.
Ouch.
It was not fun.
No, I bet.
And then on top of that, there were the zombie people still looking at their phone. Because obviously, everyone in Disneyland is now a zombie because they're ruled by their phone to get their fast passes.
Downside of that, yeah.
Yeah. So we did get a magical snow flurry. It wasn't very magical because I heard lots of people saying rudy-doody words all around me and demanding their money back, which I thought was a little bit stupid because it's one of those things. Disney do not control the weather. They've got neighbours next to them. The fireworks get cancelled in Disneyland quite a lot.
I was going to say that's it. Unfortunately, with Disneyland being where it is, there's obviously a lot of other factors to take into consideration. It's not quite like being at Disney World, is it?
Absolutely. So, you know, it did put a bit of a dampener on Christmas Day, but do you know what? It didn't ruin the trip.
No.
You know, because we saw the fireworks a couple of other times. They were magical. Saw Fantasmic, and I was able to sit down and watch Fantasmic, which we all know the benefit of sitting down. Nobody's going to put a child on your shoulder in front of you.
Yes, this is true.
Everybody's sort of on a similar footing. Except for the people who hold up tablets, iPhones and put up their parka coat hood. It was cold, and all the way through the 30 minutes, 60 minutes, whatever, of sitting on the floor by the rivers of America, I could see beautifully. And then just as it began, the lady in front pulls the hood up.
Oh, no.
Obliterating my view, but hey-ho. One of those things. At least it wasn't a 19-year-old being put on her dad's shoulders.
That would have been interesting.
Actually happened in the fireworks. Literally, the minute the lights went down, the kids went up on the shoulder.
Yeah.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think the children have got just as much right to see the fireworks as everybody else in the park. But by putting them at your head height, i.e. means the people behind aren't deprived of a view. So it's just a bit of consideration. And also, while we're talking about consideration, and I'm talking now to the man who sat in front of me during Mickey and the Magical Map, who was wearing the huge Santa hat on the elastic wire that went above his head for 36 inches. You know, a little bit of consideration, mister. People behind you do not want your bobbly little cute hat in all their pictures.
Yes.
Hey-ho. Anyway, some top tips for visiting Disney at Christmas from Michelle. Get to the park half an hour before you are able to get in there. That'll get you through bag check and it'll get you through the door. Because if you waited till, say, 9 o'clock, security was taking anywhere from half an hour to an hour to get people through.
Ouch, right. Yeah, get in there early then, guys.
I'm not lying, because one day we had to go at a later time and we were in the queue for 45 minutes and there was more people behind us.
Yeah, not nice.
Get in the parks and get your rides done that you must do. You know, things like Peter Pan that don't have fast pass, that always have a 45 to 60 minute plus wait. Get there done. Go nip over and get a fast pass in between. Get round Fantasyland, especially attractions such as Storybook. You know, you want to get on the canal journey. You want to get on Alice in Wonderland because the queues at that particular time are very low. You know, make sure you're getting your Indiana Jones fast passes, getting those in nice and early. Haunted Mansion fast passes. Well, up to about 10 o'clock you didn't really need a fast pass on Haunted Mansion because it was pretty much a walk on. Then it started getting busy. They're my top tips. Utilise fast pass, get there early, do the biggies, and then save the afternoon for things like climbing the treehouse, doing the canoe, going to see Mickey and the Magical Map, doing your people watching, doing your parade watching, perhaps even having a late lunch. We tended to go and have something to eat between 2 and 4 because we knew most other people would be in the park for parade time, and getting around at parade time is quite tricky.
Yeah, it's just been a little bit savvy, isn't it? Being aware of what's happening.
Yeah.
And adjusting accordingly, yeah.
Now, there were 2 places you could see Santa. You could see him at the Redwood Trail over at DCA, or you could see him at Pooh's Thoughtful Spot.
Right.
Having been to both places, the quicker queue was at Pooh's Thoughtful Spot. And the bonus there is you got to see Tigger as well. Nice. As part of the same queue. The Redwood Trail, the queue always was a lot longer. Yes, there was elves, but if you're only wanting to see Santa, I recommend doing it in Disneyland.
Right.
So that was a top tip. And another one is I did not do any dining packages for Fantasmic or World of Colour. I just got the fast passes myself, which again, you need to get early in the morning. You can't book them on the app. You have to physically go get them from the machine.
Oh, that's interesting to know, yeah.
And another top tip is, if you've got a group of you that want to all do this, make sure you've got everybody's tickets, because there was a lady next to us having a real big conflab with Disney saying, look, but my dad's back at the hotel. I haven't got his park ticket. Well, your dad will have to come here and get his park ticket, and but I can't do that. And the cast member was being really, really good, saying, well, look, if you can take a screenshot of his park admission on his phone and send it to you, you can scan that to get the ticket.
Oh, yeah, sensible idea.
You know. Oh, he doesn't have a phone. I think, to be honest, they were making it up, but hey-ho. Because everyone's got a phone nowadays.
Nowadays, yeah.
2-year-olds in the park in strollers have phones nowadays. So anyway, that was another top tip. So we didn't pay for any dining packages, and to be honest, the view we got for World of Colour was sensational.
Cool.
The dining package for dessert people were behind us. Okay, they were sat down. But for me, it didn't warrant that kind of price.
No.
So I just got the fast pass. We got there 15 minutes before what time it said on the ticket, and we got a great view. It was a fantastic show. Loved that they'd got rid of Olaf. It was too much Frozen last time I saw it. So this year it was lovely.
Nice. A
nice little touch of the lovely little hearts coming out of Snope, out of the big blowers, and floating off into the distance. Yeah. So that's basically attraction talk done with, Jayne. So I suppose there's food talk now.
Well, I was going to say, we're missing a key ingredient here.
Yeah. I'll start with the big disappointment of the trip.
Oh, okay.
The big disappointment was that I had got booked Steakhouse 55 afternoon tea.
Oh, yes, we talked about this, didn't we?
Yeah, and I think it was $50 per person plus tip. So you were looking at $120-ish.
Yeah.
For a couple of chocolate strawberries, a couple of little cakes, and a couple of sandwiches, and a cup of tea.
Right, so did you not do it then?
No. My money just disappeared, and it was, again, one of those decisions. Do I want to buy this, or do I want to pay for this meal? And in the end, we decided, look, we won't do it. We'll cancel it.
Right, okay.
But we did have some amazing food. Jolly Holiday lived up to expectations. The raspberry rose macaron was sensational. I shared.
Ooh.
This is the new me. This is the new Michelle who was determined not to put weight on this holiday. So I shared the macaron.
Very good.
Best thing I had for value and taste was the seasonal soup at Jolly Holiday. It was a turkey soup.
Oh, right, okay.
And it was so tasty. It had chunks of turkey, chunks of vegetable. It was hot. It was under $6. It was fantastic.
Right.
So we shared that and shared the macaroon, and basically we had a meal for under $13.
Wow, so that's good going.
Yeah. We also went over to the Grand Californian to Whitewater Snacks. A lot of people don't go here, and I just don't understand it because their burger is sensational. But the chicken loaded nachos are amazing.
Right.
Really good. It also has the Coke Freestyle machines there. So if you like your soda, you could go OTT and have quite a few there.
Yeah.
We had breakfast at Steakhouse 55 with our friends, and that was brilliant. It was wonderful. Terry Harden joined us.
Oh, nice.
And I went with the Eggs Benedict, and it had some caviar on top.
Ooh.
Very good. Tommy got the best one. If you're going to go to Steakhouse 55 and you don't want to go down the sweet route, get the steak and eggs because it's sensational. Where can you get top quality steak, eggs, fries, $23?
Not bad going.
Our friend who was there, she got pancakes with the bananas Foster sauce, $11. Amazing value.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful meal. They didn't rush us, but it was very, very quiet, and service was a little bit under attentive. But the the food was great.
Well, I hope that made up for it then.
Yeah, and afterwards we went and did a little video with Terry Harden, and we did that on Facebook Live. So if you want to see that, it's still on our Facebook. And she was just talking about her Disney year.
Right, okay, yeah.
You know, she had a fantastic year going over to the Far East. And then later we recorded a podcast interview all about Star Wars and the things that I didn't know about Terry and Star Wars. I did not know that she was a record-breaking Star Wars fan.
Haha.
So you'll have to listen to that show to find out more.
Interesting.
We had breakfast one day at Carnation Cafe, and it was for 10 o'clock, and we got this point where the server was going out on break, so our meal came, but they forgot the muffins, the toast.
Right.
And it turned up at the end of the meal, which, if you're from the UK and you're getting, fried eggs, you want to get your toast and you want to dunk it in your eggs, really, don't you?
Yeah.
So it kind of wasn't great. And I had the waffle, the Big Mickey waffle, and it just felt to me it had been under that heat lamp a little bit too long, and it was a bit too crisp. It wasn't as fluffy as I've had them before.
Right.
And big gripe, bad Carnation Cafe. You used to be able to get the chicken apple sausage, which was sensational.
Right.
It's now just a sausage, and I'm sorry, it's just not good enough.
Not the same.
No. Some amazing meals were had, though, over at Cathy Orleans. I had the kids' salmon. Tom had the steak. Amazing. We also at DCA on Christmas Eve had our splurge of the holiday, and we went to Carthay Circle.
Oh, nice.
Tom had the Angus burger, and I had the kids' steak, and literally that steak was amazing. Now, she did say to me, just be careful, because some places are starting to charge and upcharge for adults having children's meals.
Ooh.
So I wasn't charged that.
No.
I just said it's due to dietary reasons. I've got dietary restrictions, which I have. I've restricted myself to eating a lot smaller portions, and I don't want the fries, I don't want the mashed potato, I just want the protein and vegetables. And, when you're paying $35, $40 for a steak and you're only going to eat about a third of the plate...
It's a bit rich, isn't it?
It's very expensive, but hey-ho. Some other amazing snacks that we had, the soft serve ice cream is amazing. Now, you could get this at Cozy Cone or you could get this at Paradise Pier. I would suggest you go to Paradise Pier because Cozy Cone queues were crazy.
Right, okay. They're getting the same stuff.
Yeah, exactly same stuff. The only difference is you didn't have to wait an eternity for it.
That would seem like a bonus to me.
Yeah. Gibson Girl had the peppermint ice cream for the season.
Of course, yes.
And what I did a few times was I'd go and just get a cup, not a waffle cone, because again, waffle cones are bad. I'd get the cup of a vanilla scoop because they didn't have the raspberry sorbet here. And I'd get chocolate fudge sauce on top. And we'd share that, and that was great value for about $6.50.
Right.
However, if you go to Downtown Disney and you go to Haagen-Dazs, they have a raspberry sorbet, and it is to die for. It is so good.
Ooh.
I also went to the Red Lorry and had my corn dog from there. I had a couple of mouthfuls. We did actually share it. And that was very delicious. So that's about basically it. That is my eating along Disneyland way in DCA. And I suppose the only other thing really were what I spent my money on.
Oh, wow, yeah, shopping. Forgot all about that, Michelle.
Shopping's the best bit because they're the mementos you take home and remind you of the happy memories. And one day I went to the Disney store. Tommy and Lena took us out there and it just hit on the Disney sale. So I got a really cute Minnie Mouse black and white polka dot skirt, $12. I got a Minnie Mouse printed hoodie, $19. Amazing. But there was the Loungefly Minnie Mouse shaped bag. And this couple got it before me and put it in their basket. So I was literally following them round the store in the vain hope that they would get this Loungefly bag and put it back on the shelf. It was something like $22. I was like drooling. Literally drooling for it, but they ended up buying it and I was cursing them. I'm an evil person.
No, I'd have been doing the same, Michelle.
Yeah, like, my friends were saying, well, just put your hand in the basket and run off and pay for it. And it was like, no, that would be Disney bad karma.
No,
Putting it back on the shelf, then it's fair game.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so that was fun. I bought 1 or 2 things from the world of Disney. I had to get a Disney Spirit jumper because they're everywhere.
Mm.
I did not get the rose gold one because that colour, that peachy colour, just does not do my complexion any favours.
No, and it's kind of all very in at the moment, isn't it? Which
you're kidding.
Instinctively puts me off stuff.
Yeah, people are buying those on eBay for like £75.
Wowzers.
So I went with black because I thought black is classic. It'll go with anything.
Yeah, it'll last. Yeah.
So
definitely.
I picked that up. I got the Mary Poppins print for the Dooney and Burke crossover body wallet purely because I knew that this one would be something I would use quite a lot of.
Yeah.
I can have it in work to keep my money and my work phone with me. I can use it in bigger Disney bags, and the purse that I've got, literally the zip had broken while I was there on my purse, so I wasn't able to use it anymore.
Oh, that was fate then.
It was calling for me. I had a very kind invite to go to Company D, which is the cast member store.
Lucky old you.
I really fell on it, lucky Jayne. I really did. Because normally in the store, if you were like me and a big girl, or what I used to be a big girl, and getting the XLs and the XXLs, they've normally got loads of that. They don't have a lot of the mediums and larges, but they have tons of extra small and small. So being an extra small/small was great.
Yeah.
So $7 t-shirts.
Wow.
$7 t-shirts. I bought myself the Haunted Mansion D-Tech headphones because my headphones have been broken for ages. They were reduced from 60 to 15.
That's ridiculous.
I know. I bought the extra large Loungefly Villains rucksack for next year's trip. That was like $40. That was so good. I bought a couple of other t-shirts that were half price. I did very well.
Sounds like it.
I didn't buy any ears.
No.
The rose gold ears again, the big thing. But having looked at people wearing them, I wasn't that taken with the construction. They looked very poorly made.
Oh, okay.
And I didn't see one single pair because our good friend Jodie Walker said, Michelle, if you see rose gold ears, please get me them. But they were totally out of stock the whole time I was there. So, But I did pick up some Starbucks mugs.
That's not like you, Michelle.
I know. I'm looking at my Starbucks shelving unit, and it's very, very full. I was able to pick up the DCA big mug, and a couple of friends had posted some over to the resort for me. So I've got finally the new Epcot one, and my lovely friend Annalisa had got a friend to send me one from Japan.
Oh, wow.
And it's beautiful. It's got the cherry blossom on, and it's just stunning.
Yeah.
And I managed to pick up a couple of mugs for good friends. So, Angie and Jodie, I've got you a mug. Hey. Don't worry, dear, I've got you something. I'll get onto that.
No, I was going to say I would hate to see your shelf, because I know what your shelving unit looks like with all your mugs on. I can't imagine there's an awful lot of space left on it.
I've got 8 shelves full of Disney cups or Starbucks mugs. It's pretty full. And then it comes to the most important purchase of all.
Right.
I had to get Jayne Oogie Boogie popcorn holder.
Did it make it home, Michelle?
It did make it home. Well, Tommy had already bought me one.
Right.
And I didn't think they still had it in the parks. They do. They only have it by the Haunted Mansion.
Obviously, yeah.
So we went over there one night. We had a mission and we had a fast pass for It's a Small World. So we said to each other, right, we're just going into Disneyland. We'll get the popcorn. We'll do It's a Small World and then we'll leave.
Right.
And this mission took an hour and 5 minutes, but it was like get the popcorn bucket, do It's a Small World, leave, and we did it. Wow. So I took your popcorn bucket on It's a Small World just to get that added Disney essence for you.
It's been christened for me, has it?
It's been christened.
Blessed.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, my dear.
But fitting 2 of them in the case literally took up over half the case. And before anyone says, the popcorn, I offered it to people. Nobody wanted it, so it got put in the bin.
Oh, dear.
Because it was salty, and Michelle doesn't do salty
Oh,
popcorn.
no, neither do I.
It has to be that really good stuff covered in caramel.
The proper stuff.
Oh, good God, yeah. Another thing that we did as well, and we tended to do this in the afternoon, was go around and collect the pressed pennies.
Oh, right, yes,
So I've got a set for Walt Disney World and a set for Disneyland now, which was really sweet.
Nice.
Really sweet.
Nice.
And I did try and pick up some sort of souvenirs that I can send out to our lovely listeners if they would like them. I've brought home some park maps, so if you'd like one, I just ask you pay for the postage. So please email info@disneydreamgirls.com and I will quite happily pop a couple in the post to you. I did go and ask about the Buena Vista Bugle, which is the newspaper they print in DCA, but having not been there for 2 years, I didn't know, but 18 months ago they stopped doing it.
Oh, that's a shame.
So I was kind of gutted on that because I like taking that back home for a nice little gift for people.
Yeah, I have one that I can prove that point.
Yeah, but hey-ho. So that's basically the trip. So many highlights, so many memories, so many amazing things that I did. And there's only, a couple of things that I would sort of lament over. A lot of my usual friends I meet up with were on block out, so I couldn't do Disneyland with them.
Yes, yeah.
I did get to meet up with Joe. He seemed to be the only one not on block out. That was amazing. I spent some lovely time with my wonderful friend Wendy Cooper. She went out of her way, met us at the airport, gave us a big old Disney hug, and that just was amazing. And we spent a couple of days together as well in between this, that and the other. Obviously Tommy and Lena, they took us out off property a couple of days, which we'll talk about with them at a later point.
Right.
So yeah, it was magical. I loved it. It was a great Disneyland trip, and I think 7 days was probably the top end.
Yeah.
If anyone is planning on doing Disneyland next year for Christmas, I would say follow the advice. 5 days would be 5 full park days to get everything obliterated. Oh, and I did do, and I've forgotten this, the new Frozen show at the Hyperion as well.
All right, yes, of course, yeah. Any good?
Brilliant.
Yeah.
Really, really enjoyed it. I queued for about 40 minutes, got a great view from the balcony. Stunning show, loved the singing. It's an hour long.
Wowzers.
It was showing the little Olaf preview before, which was really cute. But oh my word, my heart nearly jumped out of my body when on the way down those stairs, because anyone who's been knows that the balcony's up some stairs. So we're walking down, and all of a sudden all I heard was this almighty thud, and this woman screamed, "My baby!"
Oh my goodness, what happened?
A child had fallen down 3-4 of the stairs and fallen smack down face first. Oh my God, Jayne, the blood-curdling cry from that woman still haunts me. Oh my God, so luckily people got to go and help her. They were on the other side or I would have jumped over myself, and people helped her. I think everything was okay.
Yeah.
It's just that sudden, you see your child falling, and the noise that kiddie made when it hit those stairs was, oh my word. So yeah, if you're taking kids, hold them tightly on those stairs, because crowds, ooh.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, that was the trip. Lots of things being posted over the next few weeks on the website, DisneyDreamGirls.com, and on our Facebook page. So if you haven't already liked us, do so. The steps competition, how many steps did Michelle do on 7 Disney days, is still running. So make sure you have a go. Pop your score, and I've said it's somewhere between 100,000 and 200,000 steps.
Okay.
There's somebody at the moment who's within about 150, 200 steps of that. So it's very, very tight. So that's as many clues as you're getting. Anyway, so I suppose we'll wrap that up and look forward in our next show to 2018.
No, we're moving onwards, aren't we? Onwards and upwards to 2018.
2018 is going to be bringing some amazing Disneyness. We've got Pixar Land opening in Walt Disney World.
Yeah.
Hong Kong's getting a bigger, better castle.
Yeah.
Star Wars Land is going to be getting closer and closer to completion for 2019.
Yeah.
We've got some amazing guests coming up on the podcast, and we've got so much Disney we want to share.
Absolutely. And there's a new Star Wars movie coming as well.
Again.
I
know. But do you know what? The one thing that has made this year are the Disney friendships that I've been able to make, and I'm sure you'll say the same, that it's the friendships that sustain you between the Disney trips. It's the friendships that have grown and blossomed out of nothing. You know, me and you, we got to become friends because your husband listened to my other podcast.
Yeah.
And now you're one of my...
One little spark and that's it.
Now you're one of my closest friends in the whole wide universe, and I love you to bits.
Oh, I love you too, darling.
And 2017 has seen that happen with lots of other people who just started off as listeners and have become, you know, part of my little family now. So
as we've said time and time again, Michelle, isn't it? The Disney community is a rather special community.
Yeah. So I'd like to urge everybody who is in our listening community, you know, reach out, comment on a post. You never know where that journey will take you. You know, get involved, email us, chat with each other, share your Disney with us. We want to see your pictures. We want to see what your Disney life is like and share it, because you don't know how big these and amazing these friendships could be.
Absolutely, yeah. Spread the love.
And another big, massive shout out to the people that made the show happen this year. And those are our very special Patreon supporters that just chip in maybe $1, maybe $5, whatever. Each month they just put a little bit by, send it to us. It helps us with the costing for hosting the show, the website, the running costs, the postage for the giveaways, buying the giveaways, things like that. It's all down to them, and they are such a special bunch of people who commit just a little bit. You know, they sort of forego maybe a Starbucks once a month and send it to us. So thank you so much for being there 2017. Looking forward for your support again in 2018. We do give back. You know, they've had some amazing extra content this year. They've had extra videos and bits and pieces from my trip. We do extra shows for them, extra bits and pieces as a thank you. So, Jayne.
Yes, Michelle.
I suppose we'll end the show by saying it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.